awkward. I also don't want to be in it.
Okay.
All right, my first question. Do you think female engineers are treated different or less than male engineers?
Not really. I think not, like, in school.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think they're treated differently. I just think there's, like, a different, like, I don't know. I feel like female engineering students, like, feel like they're treated differently. But I don't
There's
think
more of a
they
stigma around it.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that just because, like, they're a minority, then, like, people think it's different, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Like, there's more of a need to, like, prove yourself, I guess.
The second question is, do you think being a female engineer gives you a disadvantage, and if you do think that, why or how?
I think it gives you more of an advantage.
Yeah, I think it does.
There's less people, so they're, like, job-wise, they're more likely to hire female. Not more likely, but, like, you have a kind of a leg up.
I was talking to my mom, and she's an engineer, and she said that a lot of companies, like, specifically look for, like, female engineers to hire.
Yeah.
So, like, they have more of an advantage in
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, if they're as qualified as a male, like, I think but that's also because, like, there is a majority males, then they're trying to, like, make it more equal instead of just, like, treating everyone equally, then, I mean, it still is kind of, like, singling out.
These are good answers, guys. Can you explain the stereotypes of being a female engineer, and if there's ever been, like, a time that you've, like, personally experienced, like, a stereotype? Or if there are any.
I don't know if there's any, like, specific stereotypes.
Well, like, you could talk about, like, how people think that, like, you're not like, you're weird. Like, how female engineers are, like...
Yeah, I see.
They don't have
like,
fun.
you're not sociable.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I feel
like, before I came here, I was, like, worried about living in the engineering dorms, just because, like, I even thought that, like,
I was like, everyone's going to be weird.
Well, I thought boys would be, too. But
No,
I just, like,
that.
assumed that every, like, person that wanted to be an engineer was, like, always playing video games.
Yeah.
And, like, doing things like that. And there are those people, but then there's also other people. And, like, Liz said that, like, the main reason she joined a sorority was because she didn't think that.
Yeah.
Like,
she would find any normal people in the dorm. Yeah.
And then she found us.
We're amazing. I feel like when we tell people that, like, when we're out or something who aren't engineers that we live in the engineering quad, they're like, you guys are engineers? Like, everyone's, like, very surprised that we're socializing.
Why do you think there's a lack of numbers in female students in the engineering program here, and how do you think that we could get more females in the program?
I feel like sometimes people are, I don't know if this is kind of a stereotype, but I feel like a lot of times girls, like, care more about their grades, like, and how, like, their GPAs look. And so some people might be scared, like, if it's too hard, like, they don't want a low GPA, so they're not going to, like, really, like, try for something that they think might be hard. Or, like, they might be discouraged by, like, bad grades. So if they get a C, like, even if they passed, like, they still don't want that, so then they would, like, drop out of engineering. Like, I guess that's probably...
I don't know how to get more females, though.
I feel like...
I don't know how to solve that, really.
Some of, like, the things that, like, Society of Women Engineers and, like, the outreach events, like, they try to get more girls, like, to campus to see that there are a lot of girls in engineering, and, like,
I think a lot of it...
something that you're interested in.
Like, is that, like, it is male-dominated, so a lot of times classes, like, in high schools and stuff, girls aren't as likely to take, like, the engineering course or, like, the technology course or whatever, if it's offered. Like, I know my high school didn't even really offer it, but, like, girls aren't really going to take those. So I guess if you have more options in high school, that might lead to more, I guess.
And, like, the scholarships, like, they give you scholarships for being, like, diverse. And, like, like, I got one, and, like, the only thing that makes me diverse is that I'm a girl. Like, there's not really anything else to it.
Yeah.
These are really good answers, guys. Has there ever been an instance where a student was treated differently because of their gender that you've, like, noticed or, like, witnessed? Like, if a guy, like, do guys get, like, better treatment in classrooms? Like they get called on more, or like.
Yeah. Well, I had a grading appointment for one of my computer science classes last semester. We had like grading appointments. You had to like go in and like meet with the TA and like explain to them how you like made your code and everything because it's so easy to cheat. And at first he was like grading a lot of the guys that I talked to were like, oh, he was really nice, like it went through very like easily. But then with me, he's like, how many steps did you do it in? And I told him, he's like, okay, really, like let me count. Like he didn't believe me. But with guys, he was very like okay with it. So I guess that was not pleasant.
Yeah, this was a girl that was telling me the story, and she's a junior, and she said that she had this big like class presentation, and it was this big coding assignment, and she was in a group with 4 other guys, and she said that she had done most of the coding, and when the TA and professor were asking questions, they would like direct them to the like male students, like just assuming that she didn't do it, but she actually did everything, so she was the only one that really knew, and they just assumed that she didn't.
You guys are really killing it.
Wow.
Do you think male students experience gender inequality here at CU? So that kind of goes with the last question, but like, do you think that they get like, it's easier to be a male engineering student, or like, it's harder because it is sometimes being a female does help you in like the job industry,
Yeah.
but so do you think males experience any inequality in that?
I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
I think they are expected kind of to do better in a way, which kind of helps them and hurts them.
Yeah, I guess if there's like, since there's like a stigma that like male, like there's more male engineering students, it seems kind of like, oh, if you're a male, like you should be able to do these classes. Yeah. And then if they like don't meet those expectations, then it can be harder. Like
whereas for females, they set the bar pretty low. So if you meet it,
yeah,
you kind of exceed everyone's expectations.
You kind of touched on this earlier, but do you think that the lack of female engineer students will affect you getting a job in the future? So like how you were talking about how since there are less, it will benefit.
I feel like it affects us, but in a more positive way because they almost have, like companies have like a quota to fill, so the more people that apply, you're going to have less female applicants, so it's a better chance that we'll get one of those positions.
I feel like before there was like such a focus on like gender equality, it would have been harder because people would be like, well, why would I like hire women? But now it's like a lot of companies are focused on like equality and like non-biased hiring and things like that. So I feel like
it doesn't look good for a company if they have like 30 engineers and only 2 of them are female, so now they're just trying to balance it out.
Well, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Wow. Happy to be of service.
You guys had such good answers.